I'm just going to do that intro again.
Hi, folks. We're back.
Are we back?
I think so, yeah.
Hi, I'm going to do that again. We're going to pretend that this is a fresh start. Just down the lane, an old house is falling apart. Its old creaking boards hiding secrets eaten away by time. Through broken windows and doors that slowly swing open on its own, its residents have slowly discovered a dreamy purgatory of shadows and weakened nightmares. They found a way for their fading hands to reach out to each other, past the heavy veils of death and unlife, and they won't let each other go. They've claimed this haunt as their own, and not even the living that walk through their halls and inspect their rooms can take that away from them. What little is left of their memories hangs suspended in the dusty air, shattered and beautiful, whispering and haunting. A warm kiss, the rain on a sad smile, eyes in the dark, a knife catching the last of the light. Just down the lane is a house full of ghosts and memories. This is their story. Welcome to the House Down the Lane, a very special virtual HorrorCon actual play of Our Haunt by Ray Najati and Possum Creek Games. I'm Natalie. I'm one half of Charm Person Games. I'm a tabletop content creator, professional game master, and author of Sapphic Space Pirates. In addition to being your guide, I will be playing the doll tonight. But before we meet her, let's go around and meet some of our other players and hear who they'll be playing. Kristina, who are you and who are you going to be playing tonight?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kristina. I use any pronouns, and I am a writer, a GM, and role player. And I will be playing Sadie tonight, who is going to be using the Returned playbook. And Sadie is a young girl who just loves to seek out beings of beauty. She follows the light and seeks to find her way into heaven.
Okay. Zoe, who are you and who are you going to be playing tonight?
Hi, my name is Zoe. I use they, she pronouns. I'm a creative consultant and mod over on Caring Comfort Studios. Tonight I'm going to be playing the Faceless. Her name is Ascilla. It was a name that she found in a broken mirror. She isn't really much to look at, and by that I mean there's nothing to see. She manifests in very specific ways. Sometimes there are footprints in the dust, sometimes there is a smile against an empty void, sometimes there's knocking on the door. That's how you know Ascilla is around. Yeah, and she remembers very little from her life. She remembers sobbing and breaking glass. So that's probably fine. And she wants to just become someone again.
All right, Stephanie, who are you and who are you going to be playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Stephanie Allen. I'm the other half of Charm Person Games. I guess we are professional game masters for hire, queer women owned. I am playing Tinkerbell tonight, the cat. She uses she, they pronouns. I use she, her. Tinkerbell is a sleek, beautifully groomed black cat. Thank you for putting cat pictures in the chat. And I have a shadow that doesn't quite follow me. And I'm, yearning to meet the great ghost cat king because I have a very important thing to ask him for.
All right. And last and certainly not least, Vyn, who are you and who are you going to be playing tonight?
Hi guys, I'm Vyn, he, they. I am a voice actor and tabletop performer, and tonight I'll be playing Belladonna, the loved, not the lover. He, him. He's trying to find some comfort in this purgatory we call our home down the lane. And I think that's all I'm going to say for now.
All right. And I already introduced myself. I'm Natalie, but tonight I'm going to be playing the doll Darling. She's got porcelain falling from her face and long tangled hair that no matter how you comb it, won't come untangled. She's a little moth-eaten. but she keeps court in the parlor. So yeah, those are our characters. This is a GM-less game, so you're going to see us jumping around, taking turns playing as the different rooms of the house and playing various NPCs that might also live in the house with us. But as we start, I think it's a dark and stormy night, like most nights in haunted houses. And I think we start with creaking on the front porch as Oliver is walking around the front porch going pss, 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 and he pokes his head into the parlor of the front room. It's like, are you here?
And it's just like dunk, meow. And Tinkerbell's there. It's like popped down from something. She was up high.
Hello. I brought you some fish. I
Or
stuck a
like, do
can
the
of
begging
tuna
thing.
out of the store.
Yeah, definitely like up on my hind legs, like trying to climb up his leg, looking for that tuna.
And I think they crack it open and it smells delicious. I think it makes your tummy rumble.
Yeah,
in a
definitely
way.
like doing the like thing that cats do.
Uh-huh.
I want it, give it to me.
Why do you live in this creepy house all alone?
Just purring, rumbling up against his
Uh-huh.
legs. I don't talk to Oliver. I talk, but I don't talk to Oliver because Oliver
Yeah.
can't know that I talk.
Yeah. And Oliver sets down a can and says, I wish I could take you home with me, but my mom's really allergic.
Just like rumble really hard against his legs.
Uh-huh.
Like sit down, eat some tuna.
Cool. Is anyone else in the parlor watching this scene?
I think if Oliver were to look a little further up from where he's giving Tinkerbell attention, he'd see, you said we're in the parlor. Let me look at the parlor.
Mhm.
Because I definitely know what a parlor is off the top of my head.
It's like
I
the
see
living
him
room.
in there all the
It's
time.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
room,
yeah. Yeah, I think just above like the fireplace in the parlor, there's like fire pokers that are tilted in a way that looks like an almost like human smile,
Mhm.
as Essela is just watching, observing,
Cool.
watching Oliver, thinking about how nice it must be to be tangible.
I think
They-
Oliver jumps when he sees it, seeing like us thinking it's a smile, and then be like, oh, it's just fire pokers. Oh,
One of the
that's
fire
good.
pokers creaks a little bit.
I think Tinkerbell just kind of like looks like a warning look at the fire pokers, and then goes back to eating tuna.
I think he's gonna scratch your head once more and then be like, all right,
I'll poke into
I gotta get home. Be good. Don't
Uh,
cause any trouble. I'll be
yeah.
back with food later.
And I'm gonna follow Oliver all the way to the very edge of the porch and just sit there with my do that like sphinx pose that cats do, and like bring
Yep.
my tail all the way around
Yep.
and just watch him leave.
And he gets out in the rain and starts running, pulls his jacket up over his head, starts running. And I think back in the parlor, Darling, who was there sitting on the mantle the whole time, turns her head towards you and says, that boy is so kind to you.
Mm-hmm. He needs a kitty friend.
You could just go home with him.
No, I can't.
Why not?
For the same reason you can't just get up and leave.
Oh, someday someone will find me and then they'll take me home.
You hear something hit up against the wall, leaving a handprint as if someone was laughing and had to hold herself up at the idea that you were going to get out.
Oh, hush, Ursula.
I want to, because I noticed something in that room. There's a
Mhm.
talkative skull that can't keep secrets very well, and I
Uh-huh.
can't resist. I can't resist bodying a talkative skull. So I think you hear from the corner, "Oh, what? You're all stuck here. You can't get out. You're very funny, aren't you? Get used to it. Collect dust like the rest of us."
My ears
Oh.
just like go flat back.
Oh, don't give me that look. I may not have any features anymore, but I can see that look.
Mm.
I would like to take the skull that Sadie is currently inhabiting and just like
Excuse you.
invisible hands pick it up and turn it around and put something over it. And I would like to trigger gaining a token by acting cold and inhuman, cruel and distant by silencing Sadie's object.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, is this Sadie's object? I just thought it was just a random skull.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it's
I
just
meant-
a random.
I meant
skull, yeah.
what you're inhabiting.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just hear, what? Oh, I never. And it slowly blusters its way into silence.
Thank you
I
for
think
setting.
Tinkerbell just like kind of like hops up onto the mantle and just like does that like thing the cats do where they're that walk. They know they're better than you. Just like walks back and forth in front of the skull, like haha.
I am going to trigger one of the parlor's once per session moves. Tinkerbell, while you're on the mantle, I think the mantle has like a bunch of junk on it, like the skull and Darling, among other things. But you find an object tied to one of our past. You find a men's ring. It is old and worn out and rusted. It looks like it was fake gold, and the gold has kind of worn away at this point.
Mhm.
How is this object related to your past? If you answer, you receive a token.
Hmm. Hmm. Where did I find it?
On the mantle.
I'm gonna like paw at it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
knock it one way and knock it a little bit the other way and like sniff it. And I think I remember, I think it sparks a memory. I remember being sick and someone taking care of me and like cuddling me, putting me in a blanket, you know, keeping me warm. And I think that hand was wearing that ring.
Mhm.
Like, I don't remember who it was, but I remember hands taking care of me and loving me. And it makes me feel feelings and I don't like it. So I just gotta swat it off. Send it flying.
Oh no, the ring. And I think Darling is gonna like very carefully like lower her, like start climbing down the like edge of the mantle.
Just
I
leave it.
think
It's fine.
Bella's gonna be the one to pick the ring up. Like that's how he makes his entrance into the room.
Okay.
Just takes it and like tosses it a couple times and then catches it and like look through it. Now this is awfully cheap. Who
What
wants
would
to
you
claim
know
this
about
piece of-
jewelry?
As much as you, clearly. Darling, is this yours?
Well, it's not mine, but I like it.
Oh.
Well, I mean, like it's important to me, but I don't know why.
I guess that's fair enough. Is it
And I think she's
bracelet
like
size?
holding her hand up to like hold it.
He's gonna pick her up like a toddler and
Okay.
just like put it in her mitts.
She holds it and like clutches it to her chest.
Okay, off you go. It just like puts her down on the nearest like level thing, so she's
Yeah.
not on the ground.
And I think she's gonna like kind of go like toddling out of the room.
I would like to trigger another gain a token move and reach out and whisper a kind of truth as Darling hears like a rare moment when Asila is actually able to speak. Just like a whisper in her ear that says, trinkets will never replace what we have lost.
Yeah. I think that makes Darling kind of stop for a second. And be like, and she's gonna turn and like face and like stare directly at where Asila is. Like with their cold, like unblinking doll eyes, and they're gonna slowly blink. And then she'll be like, what did you lose, Asila? And that's one of my weak moves. Can you tell me about one of your memories?
Oh. I think in response, Asila finds one of the like small mirrors that are mounted on the wall and just shatters it in response.
Okay.
Because she lost herself.
Don't break things. There's no one to come in and fix them.
I think at this point, Sadie will float in. You see her just kind of float in, her hair down, long around her shoulders, and her feet don't touch the ground. She just kind of floats in, the points barely every now and then scraping, leaving little tracks in the dust. And then, did I hear something break?
Yes, welcome to the melodrama.
Oh no, what happened? Isilla, are you making people sad again?
You see like footprints on the floor moving, like she's shuffling her feet awkwardly.
Do you feel bad about it?
Let me see here. You hear her start like words starting to form again, like out of the nothingness that is her form, and it's just kind of like and then she just stops, which is one of my other moves. Stumble through words, revealing nothing.
Well, if you feel bad, if you reach out and apologize to whoever you hurt, it's always good to ask for forgiveness. And that's one of my tokens. Reach out and offer forgiveness.
Tinkerbell just is like in the little like crouch pose on the mantle and is just watching everyone with like big yellow eyes.
I want to go put this in the attic, but I'm afraid the amalgam will be there. Will someone go with me?
I'll do it.
I'll go, dear. Oh, two accompanied.
And Tinkerbell runs up to Darlene and just like will take the ring in her mouth.
Okay, don't lose it.
Well, that's pretty. What is it?
It's nothing.
Tinkerbell just stares at you and reveals nothing, which is one of my anytime moves.
Okay.
It's a cheap ring that's important to Darling for some reason.
A
I'm
ring?
not going
Flaps around real hard.
I think Darling fidgets with her ring finger and it breaks off. It's okay.
We'll get some glue on the way
That's
to the
one of
attic.
my anytime moves. Break and lose part of yourself.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm gonna grab a token, put someone else's needs ahead of your own.
Cool.
By just like picking Darling back up and the ring finger and going on a glue quest before heading up to the attic.
I'm gonna follow to the attic too, I think, because it's kind of, I like when you're up high, you can get really close to heaven and just feel the light, you know?
That's too cute. So I think Tinkerbell was going to just like puff into smoke and disappear, which is one of my ghostly abilities. But if Sadie's gonna come, then Tinkerbell will like start to puff and then like come back and just like trot along beside Sadie.
Yeah. I think Darling gets to the stairs and it's like each stair is like, climb up that one. Climb up that one.
That's why he was going to carry her. It would take 40 years.
If I see Darling struggling, do you want me to pick you up? Want some help?
Yeah. And I think
Okay.
she'll do arms up again.
It's okay to ask for help. I'll carry you with as much agency as possible. Like put you on the shoulder and like let you lead.
Cool.
I think Tinkerbell like runs up a few steps and like sits and waits. Runs up a few steps, sits and waits, like all the way up to the attic the whole time because cats can't go up one step at a time slowly.
So
when we get to
before
the
we
attic,
get to the attic, I want to take a pause because I forgot to do our relationship. So now that we've met all of our characters, let's go around and do our relationship questions. I'm gonna go first, and Ascilla, what shameful secret do we share? Why can't we tell anyone?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me look at Darling's sheet here. Is it okay, is there something connected to Darling's name was taken from a broken promise, which I see implications there that I feel like are pretty clear. And I'm wondering if there is a connection between Ascilla and Darling with whoever that person was that used to call her Darling.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
So who is it?
Let's call them Alex.
Alex.
Alex,
Okay.
they, them pronouns. Maybe. Oh God, maybe Ascilla learned because Ascilla can see the secret truths of people and like learn like the secrets of their heart and that sort of thing. So maybe Ascilla saw what hurt Darling like some time ago and went and took care of it.
Okay.
And Darling was
I
not
know
happy
you took
about
care of it.
Yeah, Darling wasn't
we
happy
don't tell
about it,
anyone
so they
about
don't
it?
talk about it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Belladonna, what is your relationship question?
Sadie, why do you love me? And why do I don't believe in your love?
Sadie loves you because she knows that you deserve heaven and she wants nothing better for you. She wants all the best for Belladonna. And I wonder if maybe they arrived at the house around the same time and kind of got to know the place around the same time. And so did a lot of discovery together. So Sadie feels very connected to Belladonna. I don't, why doesn't he believe in my love? Sadie's kind of flighty and woo and says that she loves a lot of things and a lot of people and will be like the first person to be aggressive with her affection. So I think maybe Bella doesn't feel like the love that Sadie shows him is different, even though it is. Is that okay?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay.
I'm not crying. I'm not going to cry either.
Okay. Tinkerbell, what is your question for someone?
I feel like there's only really one character I could ask this of. So, Belladonna, how do I bother you, and why do you secretly like it?
Because I used to be allergic to cats, and they were kept anyway, and Tinkerbell reminds him of home.
So I'd annoy you for that, and you like me for that at the same time.
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
that. That's really cute.
Scylla, what is your question?
Hey, Tinkerbell. How do I make you sad?
Oh. So you're connected to everyone's silent thoughts, desires, and fears.
Mhm.
I want to be loved again. Like I want a human to love me. And every time I'm around you, I can't stop thinking about how much I want that. And it makes me really sad because I can't have it right now.
Okay.
All right. And Sadie.
Hey, darling, why
Uh-huh.
don't you believe me about heaven? And why do you want to?
I think before you came to the house, I used to like sit in the parlor and stare at the broken angel that hangs from the chandelier. And I'm pretty sure that you're just a manifestation of my imagination. Um, but if if I'm wrong, like maybe I could find someone to love me there. All right. So the attic. We head up to the attic. The attic has, let's read what the aesthetics of the attic are.
There's a large comfy bed with mismatched blankets and pillows. And I think it like kind of takes up like the whole far wall. Like it's a big bed and not a huge attic. There's windows with brightly colored glass and like intricate designs. So it's like really fancy stained glass up here. So there's lots of like nice colors that come through. And there's a little mini dollhouse. It looks exactly like our house. And there's even little minis of us inside of it. But there's also an old television in the corner. It's unplugged and it's broken, but it just turns itself on. It shows us things we don't want to see. And there's a big ghostly wind that comes through and creates big messes and demands attention. And when Tinkerbell gets up there, I think there's a big like there's lots of like stuff. It's an attic, right? Like it's an attic that like people would come to and like live in, but it's also a storage space. So I think there's like a big like there's like a like boxes and trunks and stuff everywhere, and there's like a box, like a pretty carved box, like near the bed. And you can see like black fur on the bed where Tinkerbell clearly sleeps all the time. And there's this intricate box, and I'm gonna try up to the box, like drop the ring in it, and then like paw over like the hinge lid to close it.
I'm gonna set Darling down in front of the dollhouse.
I think Darling reaches in and moves her doll from the parlor up to the attic, and then she is gonna go over, and I think she has a box on the bookshelf, and she like looks around to make sure none of you are like looking over her shoulder, and then opens it up and slips the ring in and closes it before anyone sees what's in it, and then slides it back on the shelf.
Oh, so you took the ring out of Tinkerbell's box?
Oh, I forgot Tinkerbell had it.
Yeah, I just said
I'm
I
sorry.
dropped it in there and then closed it. So
Oh.
with my stuff.
Yeah. I think Tinkerbell like opens it and then like goes for her pocket, like her like dress pocket. It's like, oh shoot, Tinkerbell took it and closes her box. It's like, Tinkerbell,
Darling,
where'd you put the ring?
in a safe place.
Right, but where is that? Because I like to look at the ring sometimes.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me happy.
It makes me sad, and I don't want it around.
Right. So let me have it.
Tinkerbell is kind of looking at you for a minute.
I am going to use one of my moves. I am going to gain a token to use a ghostly ability with great consequence.
Okay.
I can possess and control any doll in the area. So I think the Tinkerbell doll comes out of the house and hisses at you.
I'm going to avoid speaking by looking myself clean. I'm just gonna like pick up a paw and just start looking at it right there in front of it. Like I don't even care.
Yeah. And then I think you're looking at the doll is there, you're pretending not to look at it, and then its head just falls off.
Wow. Wow. I don't even know how Tinkerbell responds. I think she stops and looks at it and stares at Darling and like narrows her eyes.
Darling is sitting very, very still, like she's just a doll.
I will pick up my little mini me like it's a kitten and gently place it in the dollhouse, and gently place his head back to it, and I'll say, "Fix it."
I don't know what you're talking about.
Darling, fix it.
They did
It's not
that on
nice
its
to
own.
take your feelings out on things and people.
You took my thing.
It's mine too. And that's not a nice thing that you just did.
Hey, Tinkerbell.
What?
You see right in front of you suddenly another headless doll of Tinkerbell, as I also use the ghostly ability with great consequence to take on the form of any being you see, which is the headless doll.
Oh, I hate it. And Tinkerbell like hisses real hard. It says, "It was my person's."
It was my person's.
Belle
Petted
just looks
me
at
when I was-
Sadie. They're like
Petted me. I
children.
was sick.
They are like children,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Children are innocent and have expansive minds.
This is innocent. They're duplicating heads and hissing, and not even the cat is hissing. Well, Tinkerbell is hissing, but they're.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder, hey everyone, maybe we could put the ring in a place that's central where we can all visit it. if
I'm
it
not doing
belongs to
anything with the
more-
ring until they fix this. This is terrible. It's uncalled for. It's too much. Too big an escalation.
Darling, do you think you could see how a headless cat would upset Tinkerbell?
Yeah, because it doesn't match. We could make it match.
Darling,
Wow.
are you still mad about your finger? Is that what this is about?
I'm mad about a lot of things, but I don't know what.
It's okay. I think you probably do, but it's just really buried. You gotta follow the light. I know it's frustrating. It feels like we can never see what's right in front of us. But what if we could? If we just turned on that light? And maybe what's right in front of us is this ring belongs to multiple people. Or maybe it doesn't belong to any of us at all.
Never mind. It was the wrong ring. That's not mine anyway. Tinkerbell can have it. And I'm going to tell a lie someone wants to believe, which is one of my strong moves. And I'm going to go put screw the head back on the doll. Back.
I'm looking at the attic moves, and I would love for Belladonna to find something unexpected in this attic.
I think while they have this wonderful conflict resolution and unkept memories and blah 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 blah, he is just like peeling around the books on the bookshelf and comes across one that's actually a box, and it's full of all kinds of shiny things and accoutrement for anyone to pick at. Oh, look, more things. How convenient. Anyone want to fight over these two while we're at it?
Those are
Tinky
so
Winky,
Uh,
Doll.
those are so pretty. Where did you find those?
It was in a book, or what was supposed to be a book, a decoy, I suppose.
Well, they must be really special if someone hid them away.
hey, Belladonna, did you open the box? Like you opened it up, right?
Yeah, the book box. Just like,
Cool.
oh, look, shiny things.
I would like to use one of the once per session moves for the attic.
Okay.
Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember if we talked about because we claimed rooms and I didn't want to.
Nope. Anyone
step
can.
on
cl-
toes.
Yeah, I
those-
don't really care. Yeah.
Cool. Belladonna, you feel something clutch onto your wrist. A ghostly presence wraps around your wrist and you feel something leaving you, and the Forgotten have come demanding their due. The Forgotten are ghosts on the edge of nothingness. Ask someone who loses a precious memory to the Forgotten, what replaces it? If they answer, they gain a token. So I guess I'm asking you who loses, because you could stick with it in this moment now that you realize what's happening, or quickly transfer it to someone else.
No, I'm gonna fuck with it. Bell's gonna lose a name of one of his many admirers, and it's just gonna be replaced with this hazy feeling, like almost disorienting, and like that cockiness that he was just like messing with Darling and Tinkerbell just kind of ebbs away from his face. Was I doing something just now?
Tinkerbell will see this, and I am going to use a ghostly ability with great consequence and gain a token. I'm going to become a shadow and stalk my prey. So I just become a shadow, and so there's like two Tinkerbell shadows that don't quite sync up, and it's just like slinking across, and then just come out of nowhere and just like sink all of my claws and fangs and the claws and fangs of my shadow into like whatever it is that's around your wrist, and just like growling and doing the kicks and everything and like chasing this thing off.
Are you okay?
I'm See, typically I would say I'm alive, but I'm not, so I am okay. Perfectly okay, as purgatory does.
Are you hurt at all? Do you need help?
No, I am perfectly fine. I might need some air after whatever that just was, but otherwise I am genuinely okay.
Has anyone ever seen that before?
They show up from time to time, and they're like looking myself, like cleaning, putting my coat back into place after I've like scuffed it up, running it off.
Seemed awfully destructive.
Is what we all become eventually. If you forget everything, you become one of them.
No, absolutely not.
Yes. If you
No.
forget everything, you become a forgotten. If everyone forgets you, you become a forgotten.
Well, we all have each other to remember, and we don't have to worry about that because we will get ourselves to heaven. It will happen.
Sela starts like knocking on the door, very perturbed as Tinkerbell says all of this.
I think with the mention of heaven, that's when Bell's going to make his exit and make his way to the garden for some air. Quote unquote. Because we're dead.
I think Tinkerbell, I will use a ghostly ability, and I'll just poof, dusky smoke and disappear, and then I'll just like poof, reappear in the garden as if I'm just like sunning myself.
Belladonna.
It's raining, but we're dead, so I don't feel the rain. I can be whatever I want it to be.
Belladonna,
Mhm.
as you come out into the garden, there's broken glass and rusted metal frames everywhere, wildflowers and weeds overgrowing up to the edge of the bent fences. You see something that you did not expect to see. 3 teenagers in the backyard, and they're holding hands in a circle, and they're like, ghosts of the dead, visit us tonight. How does this go? Shit, I forgot. But they're clearly like trying to do like some sort of secret dare sleepover ritual in the backyard.
I guess I'll be like the cool kids and use a ghostly ability.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna draw the dark and twisted of your beauty. So he's gonna haunt some little kids.
Mhm.
And she's just gonna like while they're trying to figure out the chant, she's gonna loom over, just observing quietly.
Uh-huh.
And like I guess his hair is long enough for like the fringes to like drape over one of their faces.
When your friend drifts over, they're gonna like brush it and then look up and scream. And I think everyone hears the screaming from the backyard. And they're all gonna go running and are scrambling to get over the fence.
Oh, well, I guess I didn't need to. I guess that was overkill. Just comments to himself and just like watch them run.
Yeah.
You see Tinkerbell has like moved and is now like up in like one of the branches of the trees, just watching you.
Like he's judging, like, do you want to do anything?
All right. And I'll like hop down, and it's way too far. Like cats don't jump that far, but I just land and walk over, and I'm gonna like cross in front of their paths, like right at the gate, and like stop and look at them, and then like keep going. So like now they've seen a black cat crossing their path.
Yeah. One of them points that out and screams. I think just a moment, sorry. Isilla, you notice one of them is a teen girl who comes here to do tarot readings. Sometimes she comes to this house. You recognize her.
Is it Amelia?
It is. And I think you recognize one of them as well, Sadie, as Tess, who's never come in the house, but they are pastel goth who drives by but never comes in. Yeah, they are now turned around and trying to get to the other fence to not cross the cat's path.
Asila, you and I are still in the attic, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Asila was looking out the window at what was happening. And once she sees Amelia, you hear footsteps starting to go out the house because Asila can't teleport. But she is quickly moving to get out of the house.
I think Sadie will follow and not look out the window, just like, oh, I want to come, Asila, wait, and follow after. But as she exits the house and sees Tess, I think she's just gonna kind of stop on the threshold and just stare at her like she's never gotten this close before or stayed this long. A little bit like, oh my God,
You
it's
see
happening.
Tess kind of stop and stare at the spot where you are, but you can tell she can't see you. Sadie.
I would like to use a ghostly ability with great consequence.
Okay.
And I would like to. Oh, what should I do? I don't want to scare her, but I want to intrigue her. But I've lost like my concept of what is frightening, and I'm just going to start writing on the wall,
Okay.
but behind me, and just say, like, "Come in" on the door.
Yeah. The consequence is there is a spirit who lives among the decaying flowers. A ghost that never comes into the house that you have just invited in. And you feel a rustling in the flowers. And these flowers kind of start walking and crawling their way up to the back door.
I think Tinkerbell sees this and like hisses, and like all of the fur on her, like down her spine, gets real bristly, and I'm gonna like jump, like leap over to the back door and just stand there and stare at it. And I'm gonna spend 2 tokens to ensnare someone with my unblinking gaze. Just kind of like, don't you dare.
Are you doing this to the decaying flower spirit? Yep. Okay, cool. It stops dead. You see Angela kind of calms down a little bit at feeling your presence, Scylla.
Amelia?
Yeah, sorry, Amelia. Sorry. Yeah, Amelia kind of calms down seeing your presence.
Asila stares at Amelia for a second before turning her attention on Sadie, because I think Asila would pick up on Sadie's initial awkwardness at seeing what was her name?
Tess.
Tess, thank you. At seeing Tess, and then Sadie wrote "come in" in the house, which started this whole mess. But Asila is going to look at Sadie, and I'm going to spend 2 of my tokens to ask, "What truth do you tell me?" as Asila tries to figure out what your relationship is. And I think I think it is one of those moments where Asila is able to give voice to what she's thinking, which is, who are they to you?
Sadie will just smile at Asila using her voice and say, they're my sibling. They were there when I died, and I am afraid that I didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to hurt them. I think I traumatized them, though. They can't come inside. They drive by and they never come inside. They just look at the house. We used to play in the basement. We played princesses. I don't think they want to play princess anymore.
you kind of feel a small bit of wind as Asila like shakes her head, and she is going to lose her form and become an object for now, as Asila kind of drifts into the fence that the three teens are hanging out by and just causes it to open wide for them
Okay.
to
And
get
I
away
think
from the danger.
with that, the third teen that you don't recognize grabs the other two and kind of pulls him out as Tess stares at the writing on the wall and Amelia stares at where you are, Acela. And she runs her hand along the fence as she leaves.
Small smile etched in the
Uh-huh.
fence. Can I use one more move as they leave?
Mhm.
I want to use my weak move, reach out and whisper a kind truth. As they leave, Tess just hears in her ear, your sister is safe.
I would like to use one of the once per session moves for the garden,
Sure.
as we see like Tess kind of smile a little bit as she leaves.
Yep.
The soil parts, and just it's like I feel like it's not good soil in the back yard because everything's like full of glass and overgrown and like it hasn't been really kept up, and we see the soil like kind of like pushing up as if something's digging its way up and out, and it's like darker, richer, nicer soil the more that pops up, as if it's really good soil further down, and you just see like claws, little bitty claws poking through with lots of little bitty bones that comes through, and it reveals itself to be a skeletal cat with bleached bones as it comes through. It's Zelda, the bone cat. So none of you can see her, but you can hear her. So only, I guess, only Tinkerbell and the audience sees the bones. You just see the earth coming through, and then you hear like the little bones clicking together, and her bell ring as she shakes all over to shake the fur off. It says, "Well, that was exciting."
I think you hear Darling say, "What did I miss?" as she comes out the screen door after climbing down all the stairs.
Oh, nothing, just tragedy as usual.
Teenage antics, darling.
Teenagers, did they want dolls? Wait, who said that?
Have you forgotten me already, darling? How rude.
Who said that? Is that
It's
you,
me.
Acela, doing a voice?
It's Zelda, the cat, the bones. I know you can't see me, but I behold my voice is very distinctive.
Got that right.
I thought we buried Zelda.
I thought Zelda's in heaven. Zelda, are you speaking to us from heaven?
No, darling, I'm right in front of you.
Heaven's right in front of us? Oh my God, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Sure, kid. Sure. If it makes you feel better. No, I'm right. I'm just right here in the dirt. You did bury me, and I just dug my way out. I just had a nice nap down there. It's very cozy. Thank you.
Belle just wanted quiet time in the garden.
You don't get quiet time when you're dead. You think you would, but you don't. You should know that by now.
I clearly I had expectations and I was wrong, and I'm fine with being wrong. But to be this miscalculated is severely weighing me down.
Welcome to being dead.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, look, everybody's got their misconceptions about death, or everybody's usually pretty wrong about it. It's just kind of boring and not peaceful usually.
I'm never
learning.
bored. I have lovely tea parties in the parlor.
Yeah, you never do anything terrible to other people because you're bored.
Of course not.
Nope. Not you, not Darling, not the haunted doll.
That would be incredibly rude. I have tea with Mrs. Hargate and the angel and the chandelier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes Mr. Scullington comes, even though we don't invite him.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that was the most exciting thing that's happened around here in ages. Ages. Kind of weird that, when you're feeling most alive, you gotta do, like most death stuff. And you
Well-
can see like little depressions in the dirt.
Mhm.
She's like walking around. See some of the glass move as she like kicks it out of her way.
I would like to use one of my regular moves. Zelda, I think, feels Asila staring directly at her as I stare into nothing and see the unseen.
Excellent. I think
And I think there's like it's not Asila's normal like cold and distant stare that she normally has, but I think there's like a weird kinship with this other dead being that can't be seen normally. So it's not like a mean stare, it's not like a mean mug or anything. Not that Zelda would be able to see it, but like the energy there is one that's more of a pseudo connection.
I think Zelda looks at where you are. She can't see you, but I think she feels
Mhm.
there. It like makes your ears and then does the thing that like cats do, where they'll like pick up their paws and like shake their tail real hard because they're like excited.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she does that. And so you guys all just hear like the little bones rattling against each other.
I think
There's just a smile against nothing.
Darling reaches up her hand to Sadie. And it's just like, Zelda creeps me out. Can we bury her again?
Well, if Zelda's here to give us a message from heaven, then we need to listen to her, even though she is kind of creepy. But she seemed to
You're
not.
not creepy.
Neither are you.
Right. Why would something from there be creepy?
I don't know. There's lots of different heavens. There's a creepy heaven where creepy things go after they die. And I am using a at any time move and tell the truth about heaven or lie about it.
Creepy heaven.
Yeah.
I can't.
There's creepy heaven, there's sad heaven, and there's got to be handsome heaven. And, like, looks at Belladonna, not subtly.
I think, Darlene, you feel like a cat brushing up against you. I think you can look over. I like the idea that Darlene and Tinkerbell are about the same height. and Tinkerbell is actually just like brushing up against you, like affectionately.
Yeah.
Zelda's
Go ahead.
Zelda's not creepy. You just can't see her. She's not creepy.
She's creepy. Oh, and just a second. Belladonna, Sadie has a crush on you. I'm going to share a secret that's not yours to share, which is one of my weak moves.
Excellent.
Say that out loud. Did you read my diary? How do you know?
Hey,
It's
the way
really
you look at
obvious, but
people,
yes, I
yeah.
did read your diary.
You read my diary? Darling, that's so mean.
We're running out of books.
Yeah, like I said, you never do anything bad because you're bored. Ever.
I'm going to judge someone harshly and abandon them. So I'm going to put Darling down right in front of the creepy flower bed that I know she didn't like. I'm going to put her right down in front of it and be like, well, you know what? If we're all in everyone's business these days, I guess I will go and move my diary. I'm going to move it from the study to somewhere else where little dolls can't find it.
I am going to do one of my weak moves again and use a ghostly ability with great consequence. And I am going to look at Sadie and say, pick me up. And her eyes get bigger, and I'm convincing a being to care for me. Someone can decide what the consequences.
I think you get more cracks in your porcelain.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they spread out a lot. If you get too many cracks, you're just gonna fall apart.
Yeah. Pick me up.
Fine. You never said how. Pick you up by your hair and stamp into the house.
Yeah, and she's kicking.
Blushing bright red as I go by Belladonna, like not looking.
Sadie and Bella sitting in a tree. Kissing.
Zelda's just like, oh. You know, she wasn't a child age when she died, right? But I guess being in the doll makes her act like a little kid.
I guess that's all the emotional room she has. Goodness.
Ugh. Couldn't pay me to go back to childhood. Oh, I wish it would be some sun. This rain hurts these old bones. And you just hear like, you see a little paw prints as Zelda just like walks into the house.
You're going to bury her, right? This can't go on longer than it needs to. Yes.
You see Asila. I'm going to actually spend 2 tokens to use a ghostly ability with subtle clarity. And I'm going to take on the form of a being I see again, which is now Zelda, in response to Belladonna. And you see Asila just, but you see another Zelda. Well, you see Zelda for the first time, I guess, just suddenly appear behind the invisible footsteps. And Zelda Asila looks up at you and does that very like cat like and just goes forward and ignores your question.
Oh, I think Tinkerbell's gonna do the same thing. Once Asila as Zelda goes inside, Tinkerbell's gonna come over and do the same thing and look at you. And just turn around and walk in the house.
He's gonna stomp after the rascals.
As if you weren't one of them.
I think Sadie is going to stomp into the study where her diary is, and just huffily sets. Can I set you down now, darling?
Yes.
Sets you on one of the over plush chairs that is losing its stuffing in different places. You see a Ouija board kind of overturned on one of the tables, and you hear a quiet notes from a piano that no one's sitting at that bench. And Sadie is going to march over to the bookshelf and grab out a tiny like purple leather book that's about like half size but very thick, and just shove it into one of her pockets.
Okay. I think while you do that, Darling is trying to like get the tangles out of her hair that you didn't definitely not put in, but she's glaring at you like they're your fault. And just like, I just want to know you better.
You could have asked instead of making me look like a, I don't know, teenager or something.
It's okay to have feelings for people.
Of course it is. Love is what brings us closer to heaven, but
see, that's why I wanted to read your diary, because you're always talking about heaven, and I was sure that there was more stuff that you weren't saying, and there is. You just like don't want people to know.
It's not that I don't want people to know. It's when I talk about it, people get upset and leave. And sometimes I don't want people to leave.
I wouldn't leave.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I tangled your hair.
Thank you.
Can I make it better?
Yeah, please.
And I'm going to spend 2 tokens to use a ghostly ability with a blessed touch.
Okay.
And I'm going to place a powerful prayer of protection
Okay.
on Darling's hair.
Okay.
And you see like Sadie's hands glow in a like a blue light, and like press your hair into my hands like prayer hands, and your hair kind of glows for a minute and then falls back around your shoulders.
Why do you think I'm in this doll body? I'm doing my strong move. Ask why I look innocent and harmless.
I think that your spirit needed something to tie itself to, and this doll body was ready to be a vessel.
Yeah, but it makes nobody take me seriously. And then I find myself leaning into that. I don't know why. It's just easy to act like this.
Suppose so, but do you not want to act like this?
I feel like if I tried to act different, no one would take me seriously. They'd think I was playing pretend or something.
There's nothing wrong with playing pretend, but if you give people something they don't expect, maybe they'll have a reaction that you don't expect.
I also like the feeling of people taking care of me, and this makes people take care of me.
There are other ways for people to take care of you. Do you remember when you were alive? Do you remember people taking care of you then? When you weren't a child?
Yeah, but they were lying.
All of them?
The one that mattered.
Sorry, darling.
It's okay. He got what he deserved.
Well, good. Do you think that there's heaven even for people that get what they deserve?
I hope not.
I hope not too. I think that's fair. If you hurt my friend, you don't get into heaven.
And Darling
That's-
goes to go fiddle with her ring finger that isn't there.
Oh, we were gonna fix that. I think Bella still has your finger.
It's okay. I know you don't probably want to talk to Bella now, and it's my fault.
It's okay. It was gonna come out eventually if I'm as obvious as you say I am. So
You are pretty obvious.
you probably already
You did
knew.
write "come in" really big on the wall to the person that you knew.
Yeah, I did that. I should probably go erase that. Who knows what else that will invite in.
Was that Tess?
Yeah, that's my sibling.
Yeah. You say really nice things about them.
Yeah, we used to play in the basement all the time. All the drawings on the wall, that was
Uh-huh.
us. We were
Wow.
making a world.
That's cool. Wow. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm sorry too.
My hair looks really good.
Yes, it does. Do you want to go show everyone?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I'll pick Darling up very gently by the arm, like the arms, like you would pick up a person,
Mhm.
and carry you out to is everyone still, I guess let's go find everyone.
Yeah.
Float
And
through the house.
I think with that, we are going to take a break. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes. While we're gone, We are having a fantastic raffle. You've probably seen the link that just popped up in chat, Virtual Horror Con /Charity Raffle. Go ahead and donate to that raffle. It supports Don't Be a Monster. Don't Be a Monster is an anti-bullying program that partners with haunted houses and tries to spread an anti-bullying message to teenagers. So go ahead and get some of the exciting projects in that raffle, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and thank you for sticking with us through break. If you're just joining us, we are playing Our Haunt by Ray Najati of Possum Creek Games. I am playing Darling the Doll. We have Sadie the Returned, Isilla the Faceless, Belladonna the Loved, and Tinkerbell the Cat. And we are all various ghosts who live in a haunted house. And we're gonna come back a few days later. It is not a stormy night. Feels like every night is stormy at this house, but not tonight. The sky is bright. The moon is just a sliver. The stars are bright in the sky. The street lamps are up on the lane that we're on, except for the few in front of our house, which just never work for some reason. And there is a pawing at the door.
Not everyone get up at once. And Belle goes to the door.
You open the door and nothing is there.
Oh, perfect.
Is it more guests for a tea party, Belladonna?
No, actually, and against his better judgment, he's gonna leave the door open anyway, just in case it's something he can't see. And clearly, if it's just pawing, what's another animal spirit haunting these creaky old floors? So just like gives a count to 5 in his head and then like gently shut the door.
Okay.
And then he joins Darling.
Yeah. Darling pours fake tea into your teacup. Sets the teacup down. Takes another sip.
Asilla is going to turn her attention to Tinkerbell
Mm-hmm.
and say very softly, do you see anything? And I am taking advantage of your lure and asking you for your feline perspective so I can get a token.
Okay. Let's see.
Sometimes cats see things, even
Yeah.
regular cats. Speaking of, come here.
So I think I've been like just sitting, like very pretty sitting, like, you know, on my back legs and my front legs very long, and it on a stool in front of the like table, pretending to be a part of this tea party, even though I like can't pick the teacup up. And I just turned and I look at the door. And I'm going to use a ghostly ability to sense predators and prey in the area.
You see a tail, just the edge of a white fluffy tail going down the stairs to the basement.
Cool. I'm going to turn into dusky smoke and disappear.
Okay.
And I think I think because you can see things that other people can't too sometimes, I think you see like this like strange shadowy dusk, like the smoke. You see the smoke, whereas others don't, of me like heading directly into the basement.
Asilla, hi, yes. Asilla kind of stares downward for a moment. I think in the days intervening, Asilla has gotten a hat that she wears so people can tell where she is and what she's looking at. So you see the hat tilt downwards for a moment, and then footsteps as she starts following down to the basement to see what's going on.
Want it to be like one of those like boater hats
It's
from like the
boater
1800s,
hat.
like straw boater hats, you know, kind of thing.
I was thinking of those big wide brimmed hats that like elderly women wear to the theater.
Okay.
This may be a very specific pool that isn't as universal as I think it is.
Yeah, you had me until the elderly women at the theater part.
there is a group of elderly women around here that go to the theater in like these violin hats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Are they Red Hat Society ladies? That could be it.
That's probably it. Yeah.
I love it. I love that so much.
So like one of those hats you can put drinks on the side. Yeah, it's actually got 2 cup holders. It says Smitty Weber Jensen. He was number 1.
Oh my God.
As you go
big brim hat
down into the basement, the basement is a place we don't like to go. Everything there is kind of covered in dust and covered in sheets, all the furniture. On the wall are pinned these decaying crayon drawings of different places and scenes and things, maps. And just on the wall, you see written the name Alice, and there's a big cracked mirror that reflects it.
I'm going to cautiously go down the steps in my smoky form.
304, 305, 306, 307.
You ever going to stop counting?
You made me lose count.
Yes, on purpose.
Now I have to start over.
No, you can stop counting. Did you see a cat? A fluffy cat? A white cat?
I see you, but you are sleek and black.
Yes. Did you see a fluffy white cat?
It went that way. And she points to a door that wasn't there last time you were in the basement.
I'm gonna come right up to her and it's gonna like headbutt her. I think she's like separating her hairs and starting
Uh-huh.
to count, and I'm just gonna like headbutt her hands when she does that.
What?
Do that thing where cats just like pet me.
She starts petting you and she counts the strokes. 1, 2,
And I was gonna get up and
3.
leave, but this feels really nice. And so I'm just gonna like
4.
settle into her and just like rumble purr very loudly.
As that starts to happen, Scylla, who as Tinkerbell talked to the stringy-haired ghost, she definitely like kind of paused at the mirror that says Alice and stared at it for a really long time.
And then you see, what do you see in the mirror?
Oh no, what do I see in the mirror? Because I see a broken mirror that shows us what we look like when we were alive. I think Scylla sees, God, she sees a young woman with blonde hair and brown eyes staring back at her. Someone who's been crying a lot, like her makeup's running, her eyes are red and puffy, just staring back at her with just utter devastation on her face. And I think Scylla stares at that image for a long time.
I think before you turn away,
Uh-huh.
Tinkerbell is just kind of there at your feet, staring at you in the mirror. And Tinkerbell looks exactly the same. Why were you so sad? And I'm using the ability, can you tell me about what are your memories? So that I can get a token.
Scylla's hat tilts down to Tinkerbell. And in a very quiet whisper, she says, I don't like the memories that I have of myself. And I'm going to take a token for admit to a secret weakness or shame. She says, they make me feel uncomfortable.
I don't like my feelings either. My memories of my feelings and the feelings they make me feel. They make me sad and lonely.
Most people are sad and lonely.
I don't like it.
And I think you feel an invisible hand like touch your back. And I'm going to use a ghostly ability with great consequence to get another token to touch a being and see into their heart.
Cool. Tinkerbell like stands up on like her tippy toes and like arches up into your hand to like so that you are like forced to give her scratches. And as you do this, I think you see that Tinkerbell in very typical cat fashion, pretends to not care that much about all of you, but like really cares about all of you. And is like, oh, they're so helpless. Every one of them. I have to protect them and keep them safe. Which is why she's always like trying to put herself between you and like things outside. And you see also that Tinkerbell's really lonely and sad because a lot of her memories are being sick and not being healthy as a cat. And like a human taking care of her and like warm beds and like a lot of the comfort she got. And that she wants to give that comfort back to a person. But she couldn't when she was alive because she was very sick.
I think if you don't mind me giving myself a great consequence, I think as Scylla does this, another piece of the mirror breaks and shatters at their feet. And Scylla pulls her hand away, and there's like a streak of blood on Tinkerbell's fur. Not Tinkerbell's blood,
Yeah.
but Scylla's blood.
I think Tinkerbell like does the cat thing where just like very gracelessly scrambles away.
Cool. You end up under one of the couches here in the basement, where cats tend to end up. And you hear squeaking and chittering within the couch.
Mouse. I was say the mirror crashing is probably like others could have heard that and come down to the basement if they want to.
Belladonna, Sadie?
Darling, I think I am out of tea. We should
Yes, it seems like time to wrap up the party.
Yeah, it does seem as such. And politely put their cup away and like scoot his chair in and go investigate, quote unquote, and not be nosy at all.
I think Sadie has been hiding for the last few days out of embarrassment. Where has she been hiding? I think she went back up to the attic, and has been hiding in the attic. But if she feels everyone shifting down to the basement, she'll make her way there as well.
You come down past the parlor and see like Darling cleaning up after her tea party, which is like picking up the cups and putting them in a little box.
Oh, there was a party.
Yeah, you should. I sent you an invitation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling very social.
You know, I didn't ask. Bella isn't like running away from the house or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he downstairs with everybody?
They look at Mrs. Hargate and are like, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mrs. Hargate says he went downstairs and he said that he looked kind of sadly up toward the attic when he left.
He did?
Well, I mean, I didn't see it, but Mrs. Hargate did.
You go with me?
Of course.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Pick up Darling
Yeah.
and
Cool.
go back down towards the basement.
Okay. Stella, you hear the stairs like creaking as Belladonna and then Sadie come down, and the cat is fully like zooming under the couch, I'm imagining.
Yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, Tinkerbell caught sent to the mice again.
I think they see Scylla picking up the broken piece of the mirror as if she's not sure what to do with it. So they just see like Scylla's hat and then the piece of the mirror floating in midair before she puts it. Let me look at the basement. Yeah, she goes to something that has like a cloth draped over it and just slides the broken piece of the mirror under it to hide it.
Sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Is it maybe the old radio?
Yeah,
The
it can be
table with the old radio?
Yeah. It can be the old radio.
Scylla, can you turn on that old radio?
Yes, she can. I think Scylla sticks the broken piece of the mirror under the cloth and in doing so moves the cloth off of the radio and stares at it for a moment and then switches it on. And this old radio drama that's like some kind of a what is the thing? Hold on, now I need to look it up. Yeah, the silver shroud from Fallout.
Yes.
Like the
Like the 40s style, like
yeah, the
radio
old
dramas.
1940s style radio drama of like this ridiculous noir hero cleaning up the streets starts playing, and you see Asilla. It's kind of hard to tell, but she like starts like picking stuff up from the tables in the basement to start acting along with it. Like she picks up a broom to act as like a rifle. And
I
then
think- go ahead.
she as the drama starts describing like some big fight scene that starts to happen, her hat turns to look at Belladonna and Sadie, like she wants them to play too.
Yeah, Sadie will absolutely join in and pick up like a broken piece of maybe an old like broken furniture, like a chair leg, and hold it like a Tommy gun. It's like ready to go.
Yeah. I think Darling kind of swoons like a like the damsel in distress in the thing.
Yeah, I think when there's like talks of like, oh, and then he shot them all. I think Tinkerbell comes crawling out from underneath the couch and just like drops like mice carcasses. It's just like dead bodies. Just looks very proud of herself.
And we all get tokens for playing along.
Lit.
I think as she's swooning, Darling catches her reflection in the mirror and like looks away from it really quick. But so what are we doing down here? I don't like it down in this room.
Scylla extends the broom towards Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell comes over and sits down in front of this door and stares at it. The door that wasn't there before. Sniff at it.
There's no room there.
There's a door.
Oh, I've heard Miss Hargate talk about this. It's the lost room.
Lost it.
The house.
Well, I need it. And I'm gonna get up on my back legs. I'm gonna like paw at the door until it opens.
Okay. And I think it opens and it's just a long, long, long hall of mirrors lit by floating candles.
And I think there's also a sound coming from it that's just a
Just gonna get down and just like trot on in like it's nothing.
Like that. Tinkerbell, be careful. What do we see when we look into the room, if anything?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
When Tinkerbell like goes in, do we still see her?
You do, but like it's like she's making progress at weird speeds. Like she'll like be like, oh, she was right there, and then she's like way down the hall, and then she's closer, and then she's further, and then like
I love that and hate that. Isilla,
Oh, go ahead.
Isilla, have you seen this room before?
Scylla looks at it, looks at Sadie, and just gives a very small nod.
Well, where does it go?
She I think there's a moment where she starts to speak and it sounds like she's having trouble giving herself voice to explain it. And then there's a moment where she stops, clearly frustrated. And then there's a shimmer. And now instead of a floating hat standing in front of you, there is a young woman, blonde hair, brown eyes, looks like she's been crying, makeup running, as I spend 2 tokens to become physical and real for now. And Scylla, still just giving you this like dead-eyed stare, she says, "It goes somewhere very dangerous, but I can't get there unless I'm like this." And then she's going to turn and start going in down the Hall of Mirrors.
Says it's dangerous, darling. Well, do you think we should go with them?
What do you think? I
We
don't like
can't-
being in this room either.
We can't let our friends go somewhere dangerous alone.
Okay, let's go. And I think as they leave, we see one little glance of like the full like woman Darling was like in the mirror as they head into the room. And is just to catch you up, Bella, because you had to get pulled away. We are going into a room that should not exist in the house, a long hallway of mirrors and floating candles. And Tinkerbell has led the way in. Are you coming in with us?
I mean, what's the worst thing can happen? We are already dead, so with trepidation, Belle tiptoes in.
And I
Very
think as
carefully.
you go in, the door slams shut behind you. And now the door just isn't there.
Oh my god, it's so scary in here. Do you think some light would help?
I mean, it couldn't hurt, right?
I'm going to reveal. Oh, I guess I'm going to spend 2 tokens to use a ghostly ability with a blessed touch. And one of my ghostly abilities is fill a room with otherworldly light. And I think you see Sadie lift even further off the ground. That same blue light that she fixed Darling's hair with just surrounds her whole body, and her eyes open, and they're this like bright light. And the room just illuminates.
I think
And
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to spend 2 tokens to fall in love. Like a moth to a flame.
Mhm. I'm gonna gain a token to do some ghostly magic with consequences. And I am going to sing a song that creates fear. I don't think she's intentionally creating fear, but there's just an off-key like humming of Sadie and Bella sitting in a tree.
you hear the whistling that had been kind of discordant start to like harmonize, not in a comforting way, but in like that weird minor key way that's purposeful. It sounds wrong and right at the same time. It's very unsettling.
I think Tinkerbell had been sitting there with her eyes closed, like, and then her eyes flash open and she's just like slamming her tail into the middle of the ground. This is Darling.
What?
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm gonna use 2 tokens here to distract or mislead someone. They're like, Why don't you look around for a cat? A white fluffy
Found
cat.
one. Oh, a flat white one. Okay.
A white fluffy cat. That's what I came here for.
Maybe it's through that door.
I'm gonna look.
And is a door that was not there just a second ago. It was a mirror. And it is inscribed with something. It says, tell your secret. Just scrawled on it. And I'm asking someone to tell their own secret. Everyone who offers one to begin an ancient ritual gains a token.
What is this for?
I don't know. It's a door that wants you to tell it a secret. So tell it a secret.
You first.
You first.
You first.
You first.
Isilla first.
Isilla looks at Tinkerbell. Belladonna, I don't know if you missed it, but Isilla is physical right now. She looks young woman, blonde, brown eyes, looks like she's been crying, running makeup, red and puffy eyes. It's what she saw in the mirror, and it's her physicality. She looks down at Tinkerbell and says, your secret. I could tell it your secrets.
You have to tell one of your secrets.
That's not what the door says.
Suddenly we're
Isilla-
door lawyers.
Isilla walks up to the door and says, Tinkerbell thinks that she can protect us from the things outside.
But it's not one of your own secrets, so
And I
nothing
know that
happens.
it can.
Yeah.
You have no idea the things I've protected you from.
If you're keeping any of those a secret, how about you tell the door?
Well, they're secrets mostly because you don't pay attention, which is why you need protecting. But
I pay attention.
Tinkerbell just stares and reveals nothing.
There.
And I'll say, the housing inspector that came by foolishly, I chased him off.
You see one of the locks on the door clicks open. I remember more about the man with the ring than I say I do. I just don't want to think about it because it hurts too much. And the door clicks open.
Tinkerbell looks at you with like wide, astonished eyes.
Scylla looks over at Darling and then says, I killed the man with the ring.
Tell me one of the locks does not open. Like it,
It
doesn't.
does.
Oh, I was just saying it would be funnier if it didn't. It
Yeah.
just didn't sell and played around. But I think Tinkerbell looks very angry at you.
At
Her
Scylla?
tail starts to like, yeah. And her tail starts to like thrash real hard.
What?
Why?
Why did I
He
kill
was
him?
kind.
He wasn't. He was
He took
wasn't.
care of me.
and not anyone else.
He hurt Darling.
He loved me.
Scylla frowns and then So what I would like to do, and I want to talk to you about this, Stephanie, because I need your buy-in on this, is I have a strong move that is uncover a fragment of a memory. And the idea I have, because it doesn't say it has to be my own memory. My idea is for Asilla to uncover a fragment of Tinkerbell's memory of how the man with the ring treated Darling.
I do not want this man to be bad.
Okay.
I really strongly do not want the human that gave love and took care of Tinkerbell as she was dying to be bad.
So my thought about it, just to zoom out of the game a little bit, was not that he was bad, but just that he told Darling he loved her and didn't. Like they
That's bad.
broke up.
That's a bad person. Like that sounds like a bad person.
Relationships end though. Like it was just a
okay. So the way you just were
Okay.
saying that made me
Yeah.
think that this is like an abusive father or something.
No, this was like a relationship for Darling that ended, and Darling was broken up about it.
Oh, so Darlene is making it worse than it actually was in her
Right.
head.
Yes.
Okay, I that's fine. I want
Right.
Darlene to realize that though, that
Yeah.
like he was not a bad person. The relationship just ended.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good with me then.
Cool.
That's how you do safety tools, everybody.
Yeah. Way to go. We safety tooled real good there. Way to show that off at Virtual Horror Con.
So in that case, then Zoe, yes, you could have kind of like maybe like I don't know, like a memory of them arguing or
Yeah.
Kind of
In that
thing.
case, instead to rewind, I think what Asilla says is maybe in that case, it's uncovering a fragment of a memory for both of them,
Okay.
for Tinkerbell and Darling.
Yeah.
To see each other's side of the man with the ring.
Yeah.
maybe Darlene and the man were arguing at each
Mhm.
other and they were both really angry and upset.
Mhm.
And Darlene left. And like then the man came over and was like holding Tinkerbell and like he's
Mhm.
clearly just as upset as Darlene is over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And I think Darling will sigh and be like, he did love you.
He loved you too. He just
Stopped.
no, he didn't. You weren't a good match. He wanted you to be happy. And you would be happy with somebody else. And not with him.
She looks up at Asilla.
Asilla looks back.
And Tinkerbell comes over to Darling and is just like, rubbing their head on her.
Did I don't remember anymore. Did I ask you to kill him?
Asilla just gives a small nod.
And I think you just see a new crack open up on Darling's face. She's like, I think the door's open. We should keep going. So you can find your white cat.
Yeah. And Tinkerbell just gets up and walks through.
Makes you all feel better. One of the ways to heaven is by telling the truth. So, in a way, you just step closer to heaven. That's comforting.
People heaven, maybe. Not looking for people heaven.
And the room you walk into is a throne room made of piled garbage. And sitting on the throne is the biggest, fluffiest, whitest cat you have ever seen. And he laughs as you walk in and he says, Tinkerbell!
Your Majesty! And I think Tinkerbell like comes scampering over and like stands up on like her back legs and does like one of these things with her paws for a couple of minutes. I don't know why. That's just that feels right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with it.
He bends down and licks you on the head a few times.
Just rumble purr, like
Yeah.
push it up against him. What cats do.
Welcome to my throne room. I knew you'd find your way here eventually.
You did?
Of course.
I wasn't sure you were real.
You were very kind to my emissary Zelda.
Oh, Zelda, she's wonderful.
Yes, I quite think so. And
Very
you let her
funny.
back in after someone had put her in the yard for so long.
She said it was a good nap.
Yes. But tell me, what makes you seek me today?
I want to go to cat heaven.
Ah,
I want to love.
well, those are two different things, darling. Because
No.
cat heaven is curled up at the feet of a lovely person who loves you.
Yes. And I want to love that person too.
Yes.
There's a little boy.
The one who brings you tuna.
You been spying on me.
I watch everyone from the distance. It's what cats do.
True.
You wish to go home with this boy.
I want to be a living cat for him. He's
Yeah.
sad. He's lonely. He needs a kitty.
He does. And you need a boy. But you have memories that hurt you. You need to let them go.
But who will remember that the man was kind?
And Darling speaks up behind you and is like, "Oh, I remember now when he was kind."
You do?
I mean, it's why I loved him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have loved him and it wouldn't have hurt.
And you won't forget?
No, I won't forget. It's right up here. And Darling taps her head and another crack forms.
Thank you, darling. And Tinkerbell comes over and this is like the I think she starts to like do the thing where you like rub on the like the way cats do, and then just like slowly tackles Darling to the ground in the hug.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good kitty. I think scritching your chin.
Yeah, lots of rumble purrs.
I'm gonna miss you when you leave.
Be friends with Zelda. She's not creepy. Well, if she's creepy, she's no creepier than you are in a doll that's falling apart.
That's true. And I am actually in this moment playing with Tinkerbell. I'm going to use a ghostly ability with uncanny grace. And suddenly, Darling is a small girl child and not a creepy doll. Playing with the cat. And the Cat King says, well, we must feed your memories to the memory eater.
Is that what was making that strange whistling sound?
Oh no, that's the Whistler. Come say hi, Whistler.
Somehow that's worse.
There's a little a wispy shadow that like starts to fill the room. It's just a
Tinkerbell's like hackles raise up a little bit.
Yeah. Darling like pets down like the back.
Like slowly calm down again.
Yeah.
Asilla looks at Tinkerbell, and I think she's starting to look transparent again. Not completely, but the physical body's starting to fade again. And she opens and closes her mouth a few times and then says, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Tinkerbell gets up and comes over and like headbutts you really hard. Says, you wanted to protect Darling. And just like headbutts you again, like really aggressively. I don't know if you've ever had a cat do that, but I've had cats where if you like show them your hand, they just right into it when they want pets.
I have a cat that does that.
I took a token there for admitting a secret chain, and then Asila is going to say, do you want to talk with him before you go?
You could do that?
Nods.
Yes.
And then I think as she uses this ghostly ability, it takes what was left of her ability to manifest physically, and she disappears completely. And I'm going to spend 2 tokens to use a ghostly ability with subtle clarity to speak from the grave and channel a spirit.
Who wants to play Alex?
I guess I'll fall into this one.
The only one who hasn't done it at PC yet, so.
Oh my goodness, you're right. So yeah, here we go. And I guess coming back from wherever, the nether, beyond. Excuse me? And
I think Tinkerbell just starts purring when she hears his voice. She's purring really loud.
and he's taken aback and just like instant like pet owners, we know, just on his knees, just like has his arms outstretched for Tinkerbell.
Yeah, I think she comes running and just like leaps at him.
Oh, how are you, darling?
Just like rubbing her face all over him.
I must be dreaming. Oh, you haven't changed a bit. We haven't changed a bit.
Tinkerbell just stops and like looks at him for a while and like makes biscuits on his chest.
And like he pinches like both of her paws back and just gives them a playful little tug. Oh, I definitely don't know how long I have, so I'm just going. It's just like trailing off, it's just overwhelmed, and just like, and from like holding her body like the tube, it just like puts her in the crook of his arm and just holds her.
And she like leans into him, purrs and rubs her face on him and makes biscuits. And yeah. Like when he's like petting her, where she'll like lean up and like put her paw on his hand to make him stop and then just like groom him. The ultimate sign of cat love.
And he's gonna take that groomed hand and just like comb it back. Straight.
Yes, that's what you do.
It's just soundless. It's just that surprise and serendipity. You love your cats.
Somebody move the sea before I break down.
Then Alex disappears and Priscilla comes back.
And I think as like Alex disappears, we just see Darling in the corner crying, like just like tears all down her face, like little girl Darling.
Sadie will come over and just start petting her hair and just hug her. Just be like, it's okay, darling. Do you want to talk about it? That's okay. You don't have to talk about it. You can just cry about it. That's okay too. I'll just hold Darling until she's done.
So are you ready to go and meet your boy? This was all quite sad.
Just a moment. And I'll look around until I like find where Estella is. Like we do that presence thing again.
She's got her hat on.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I don't think she speaks this time now that all of that energy's been expended. You just see the hat nod, but you also see a water fall to the ground like a tear.
And I think then Tinkerbell goes over to Belladonna and just starts rubbing like gratuitously, like way too much, rubbing all over him.
I probably did not die from allergies, but I would die again.
You're already dead.
I know.
I'm gonna like wiggle worm on my back on his shoes.
And he's like trying to dance away from it, but he's not moving at all. Like it is all part of the like this.
I have my fur in your clothes forever.
No.
And then I'll just get up and just like bonk real hard on him.
And he's gonna genuinely like go down and give her one good pet.
Yes, like got it. You should talk to Sadie.
Don't worry about it. You have other things to do.
Yeah, well, talk to Sadie.
I will.
And then I'll go over to like behind Sadie and just like bonk headbutt her real hard and start rubbing my face.
Oh, hi, Tink. Oh, I'm gonna miss you so much, but I think that you're gonna have a beautiful life.
I mean, this is only my 5th one.
Oh, so you have even more. That's wonderful.
This is gonna be my 5th.
I'm so excited for you to go to cat heaven.
I've never been with a little boy before.
Well, you'll have to tell us how it is through the cards or the wind or something. How do
Zelda.
you will?
Yeah, I could see her when I was alive too.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Make sure to tell Zelda how you are and she'll tell us.
I'll make the boy walk by the house sometimes. You'll see. He'll be happier. I'll make sure of it.
You can always come in for tea. I know Darling always wants more guests.
I'm hoping I'm an indoor cat this time.
And I'll just give Tinkerbell a big hug.
Thank
Kind of scoop you up. And I'm probably still, am I still hugging Darling as well?
Mhm.
So like a double hug. You feel a cat get squished next to you.
Yeah, don't fight it. It's just a rarity because they usually do. And I'll just like make biscuits on like Darlie's shoulder and do that like really loud rumbly purr. Like, have you ever been sick and had like a cat curl up to you when they know you don't feel good and they just purr like that? That kind of purr.
And I think Darling's gonna get up and like pick up Tinkerbell in her arms.
Is she like a regular sized
Yeah,
girl now?
yeah.
Okay.
And she's gonna be like, "Are you ready to go, Tinkerbell?" Like suck up some snot.
Yeah, I think so. You guys are great. And I'm a little worried that there's not going to be anybody here to keep you from letting random spirits into the house. But Oliver needs me.
And
And just like, be nice. I'll like smack her, but with no claws extended.
yeah, I
Nice.
did that. And Darling's gonna start walking toward the door.
Tinkerbell's gonna do the thing like, I'm tired of being held. Put me down, put me down.
I think Darling's gonna hold on.
Just like more like pushing my head back against you.
Yeah.
Noises.
And I think as we walk back through the hallway of mirrors and floating candles, eyes open up on each mirror we pass. And each one kind of erases some of your past life, Tinkerbell. As we finally get up to the top of the basement, and you are just a normal cat.
Tail like flop around, smacking you really hard.
Yeah. And Darling is going to carry you up the stairs. And I think Oliver is there, and she's going to like let you go.
Gonna like springboard off of her. Like you can feel like how hard my back legs push off of you. And I'll just run up to him, just sit there and look at him.
You look healthier.
Bonk.
Mm-hmm.
You want to come home with me?
Bonk.
He's like, who's that girl?
Bonk. And just start rubbing all up against his legs, like doing the figure 8 between his legs.
Yeah. Wait, where'd she go? And I think now there's just a doll sitting there. And you see the doll do a little wave.
Tinkerbell's like, doll's not supposed to wave. That's creepy.
And I think Oliver says, dolls aren't supposed to wave. That's creepy. Let's get out of here. And scoops you up.
Make biscuits on him as he runs away with me.
Yep. Yeah. And you guys walk out into the clear, star-filled night. And I think you walk past a car with a girl in pastel goth sitting in the driver's seat. It's like an old beaten up car, and she's just kind of looking at the house. And as she sees you walk by, she starts up the car and drives down because she feels weird that someone is seeing her sitting in front of this house. And does anyone have anything else they want to end this story on?
Sadie.
Well, look about the thing that
It's so now that we have an annoying cat out of the way, I heard there's an empty table at Darling's tea party.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as Mrs. Hargate doesn't mind, but I don't think she will.
I don't think she would mind it. I think we have pretend chamomile, pretend Earl Grey. I'm very fond of the pretend white tea.
Oh, that is really nice. Very calming.
Hmm. Hmm.
Would you want to join?
I wouldn't want to impose upon you, but if you would like, I
Please join us.
sure.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Kind of reach out a questioning hand since the mirror hallway's creepy. I'm so sorry. I wouldn't ask if
Yeah, and like they totally just like, don't worry, I'll protect with like that kind of hand grip.
Yes. I love it. She'll lean in a little and they'll make their way down the hallway.
Cool.
I think Scylla waits for everyone to leave the basement and then is going to go over to the mirror. And she's going to look in it for a bit. And there's just a soft voice that just kind of says to nobody, Alice. And then she goes upstairs.
And I think we just end on a close-up of Darling like looking out the window, watching Oliver walk away with Tinkerbell in his arms. And that's where we're going to end things. Thank you everyone so much for watching. It's been a real honor to stream here at Virtual HorrorCon. We're going to go around and hear from our cast and hear what they've got going on, and let them plug their pluggables. We'll start with you, Stephanie. No, we won't start with Stephanie. We'll start with Kristina. Kristina, what do you got going on?
Oh gosh, hi everyone. I'm Kristina, and you can find me over on Twitter at D20xtina. And what I've got going on is I'm running a game of Haunted West over on TTRPG. You can find us every other Friday. This upcoming Friday, the 15th, is going to be episode 2. So if you missed our first episode, I think you can catch it on VOD, but I'll double check. And yeah, that's what I've got going on.
All right. Zoe, who are you? Where can people find you? What do you got going on?
My name's Zoe. You can find me at Twillick43 on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the social medias. You can also find me primarily over on Caring Comfort Studios, where Wes and I host Caring Comfort News every Sunday, except for tomorrow because there's more Virtual HorrorCon. But next Sunday we'll be back with the latest and greatest in news. Other than that, Leslie and I are finally going to start streaming The Quarry on Thursdays because supposedly the multiplayer is fixed now. I haven't checked. It was supposed to actually be released yesterday. The game got released several weeks ago. The multiplayer is finally out today. Yeah, we'll see. If not, we'll figure something else out. But you'll find me there on Thursday playing some kind of game. Hopefully The Quarry. We'll find out. That's all I got going on.
All right. Vyn, where can people find you? What do you got going on?
Oh boy. Again, guys, hi, I'm Vyn at Vyn Vox VA on Twitter. I'm a voice actor and a tabletop performer. I got one more actual play for Virtual HorrorCon. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern, Vitae and Petticoats a Sabat Regency one shot. So that's going to be some bloody fun. Ha 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 ha.
Stephanie, are you ready yet?
Yes. I've been Stephanie. This has been Polly. You can catch me on Tuesday nights over on Huntsman's Hydra. We're playing Denarius Half Dozen, which is a Swords of the Serpentine actual play. And if you would like to book with me or Natalie, you can find us at charmpersongames.com. We run all kinds of games. This is not the first time I've made myself cry in a stream. It's not the first time I've made other people cry. So if you're, in for that, yeah, you can book with me and I'll make that happen for you.
And I have been Natalie. Like Stephanie said, we're part of Charm Person Games. You can book with us for your parties, corporate events, bat mitzvahs, or funerals. We run games for any game, anytime, anywhere. I am the author of Sapphic Space Pirates. You can pick that up if you go to charmpersongames.com. You'll see a link right at the top to the game. You can also find me starting in August over on the TEA TRPG channel, where I will be streaming another game by Possum Creek Games, Wander Home, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. That's going to be a really exciting show. We're going to be announcing the cast here soon, and I'm very, very excited. I want to thank Possum Creek Games for letting us stream this game. They gave us early access to some character keeper stuff to help us organize our characters for stream, which was really great. You can pick up this game and many other games from Possum Creek Games over at possumcreekgames.com. This is one of the best one-shots I've ever streamed, so get this game, guys. It's very good. You can also watch more stuff here at Virtual Horror Con. Do the raffle. Donate money to Don't Be a Monster. Pick up stuff from the Virtual Horror Con shop. Go see the vendors. There's all sorts of fantastic things, and we want to thank Gehenna Gaming and all the other partners for including us as part of Virtual Horror Con. If you could all please stay tuned. At 8 p.m., we are being followed by another show. It is the stunning conclusion to the ongoing Gehenna Games Viking Age Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition series. From the mind of Ellie Collins, creator of ATL by Night, The Blood Crow Stories, and Fear by the Fire, is Ragnarok around the corner? Does this spell the end of Jarl Bjarri Ordenson and his coterie? Tune in to find out. You'll find all of that at 8 p.m. So thank you all so much for tuning in. This was fantastic. We've had a great time streaming for you, and have a great night.